Okay, so we are out here and going to prune this pear tree. Last year I pruned it. Before that, I think it had been neglected for at least a couple of years. So I won't be doing as many cuts this year because I did a bunch last year, and also because it's really cold and windy out here. So I'm thinking I'm just going to see, I think there's some branches at the top I'd like to bring down, and some things that are potentially crossing that I'm going to take care of. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of pruning on this now. Behind me, you can see the pear tree has been pruned. I actually took quite a bit off. I didn't think I was going to take that much off, but I was trying to think through sunlight getting to the buds. So I don't know. They're looking a little sad now. Hopefully, I didn't do something terribly wrong. Again, it was neglected for a bunch of years, so there was just a bunch of branches all clustered together, and it was getting really tall. It's still pretty tall. You can see I had to climb to make a lot of those cuts, and we can't even get to some of the pears all the way to the top. We need to get a better ladder to get those. But that is done for this year. My husband kindly brought the branches into the garage for me. I'm hoping to use them for some projects in a month or so, or within the next couple of months. It's a couple days later. It was just getting really windy, and the temperature was dropping, and so I really wanted to give you a good winter tour, and it wasn't ready to do that, especially I had the baby on me. So it's the weekend. It is a beautiful day here. It's still winter, obviously, but it is above freezing, so some of the snow is melting. You might hear a drip going on behind me here. And it's not as windy, so I want to give you a winter tour of our property. I love to have like a starting point so we can see how all my projects develop. I'm actually standing right in front of my breezeway, and this is where, like, I'm looking at my car. And it's where people normally enter our house. So let me turn you around. Nothing super glamorous about it. I want to put some containers on either side of the door here with some flowers. It does get, right now it's the afternoon, and it does get morning sun here, but obviously not afternoon sun. So I think if I get flowers that will bloom in part shade, hopefully that'll be fine. It's a pretty blank slate right now. You can see, but I have big plans for this year. I'm super excited. We're going to add some more blueberries because we do love blueberries, and I'd love to be able to have enough to make jams and pies and freeze a bunch, as well as eat a bunch fresh because I'm sure my kids will either way. Beyond the blueberries, there's going to be trellises for blackberries and raspberries, and then I'm going to do groupings of honeyberries on either side, and hopefully flowers and some cherry trees. Now on to the orchard area. I'll try to talk and walk a little bit here. It's really exciting that it's above freezing and some things are starting to melt. We're going into the last week of February now. But on the other hand, I'm trying not to get too excited because I have to be mentally prepared that March here is still very much winter. All right, I'm standing amongst my little fruit trees now in the middle. I planted 4 last year. let's head on over to those elders and go around this way. Okay, so I have one elder on this side. I think it might have gotten nibbled a little bit, but not badly. It's looking pretty good. It's just about as tall as you there, huh? The other one's over here. It may have gotten nibbled more. I think it also, right, it's not as tall as the other one. I think it also gets shaded a little bit more from the solar canopy. Next, we're gonna walk on up to the lilac bushes, which are right next to the hanger pad and the grapes and everything. Ooh, the snow's kind of deep here, so I'm sorry if the video's a little bouncy. So these are beautiful lilac bushes. You can see here, I actually cut back a bunch of bushes last year. It looks like some shoots came back out. I don't know exactly what those thorny things are, but there's a whole lot of grapevines over here. A lot of them are covered in snow. And then under the snow here is actually a cement pad. This guy continuously gets burrs from burdock on him. In case you don't know what they look like, this is burdock burrs. And burdock itself, the root, is a medicinal herb. It's one of our herb fairies, but these burrs get stuck everywhere and they spread. And for some reason, my little guy here attracts them. Currently, where we're walking, you can see that's actually our garage there. It's just attached to the house by a breezeway, and you can actually see on the side over here is where our compost is. But where we're walking through is just a field. I'm planning on leaving it mostly wildflowers for right now. Again, the orchard might extend into it, but I do want to keep a path mode over to these crabapple trees. So these are the crabapple trees. They still have just like a bunch of petrified fruit on them, which is not ideal. We're right on the northern edge of our property line, but it does go back a little ways in the direction I'm looking. And if I keep panning this way, those buildings that you see on the other side of the canopy are not ours. So that's the southern, actually the building here is the southern edge of our property. And then, and then you're seeing our house, and the pond and the willows are there. Ooh, okay. I think what I'm going to do is bring you around the pond. So let's do that. I like to leave this area clear for wildlife, but I think I might mow a path going back this way for the humans, and then leave the sides and the pond area for the animals. As we go through this willow branch here. Hello, willow. Oh, some of it's actually frozen in the snow. We can see we have a clump of, well, there's some eastern white pine over there, which sometimes we collect pine needles from. And there's a clump of black locust, which my kids like because it has giant thorns on it. It has giant thorns on its trunk. I'm going to take you to the garden next, so let's head on over there. hard to see the beds, but I'm just going to do a quick sweep here. My strawberry bed is under there somewhere, and we've got an elder there. And then we haven't cardboard and mulched yet, but there will be a bed all along the back there by the fence. And you can't even see my raised beds. I don't know if you can see the little bumps. They're all just covered under the snow right now. And yeah, I'm gonna walk this way where I know there's a path. Okay. So my asparagus bed's gonna be over there. My market garden bed, you can see some sticks sticking out there where I left the sticks. I probably should have brought them inside. And you can see our PTP there. It's just all hard to see now in the snow. It's interesting. Walking through here, I'm fairly certain this is a path. Here's my quince tree. This is the side of the house here. Again, this is kind of what you see when you drive in. And so even though it's technically the front entrance on the other side, but I would like it to look a lot nicer. So this is what I'm talking about. Before I head back towards the side of the breezeway, there's a couple other areas I just want to show you because I have some thoughts on them. And so I'm coming around to the side of the house here. This is the south side of the house. You drive past it in the driveway when coming in. So this is a lilac bush with white lilacs that are gorgeous, but you can see it's very overgrown. You can see it already has buds, so if I decide to prune, I might be taking out some of the buds, but I think it just needs so much work that I might take some out now and then take a little bit more out after it flowers this year and then continue to do that. While I'm over here, I'm just going to move towards the front entry and show you here what it's looking like right now. If you watched my fall vlog, you will have seen it. I still have my Christmas decor up. That's going to be coming down in the next couple weeks as I get ready for spring. You can't see a lot of it right now because it's under snow. But we do have lines of plants here. And you can see the pots. They used to be just on the ground next to the paths, and they were actually tilted. So I moved them to these steps for right now. And they have echinacea in them currently, which I will be transplanting once the ground is workable. And then there's perennial beds around here. I'm walking back where I started. I'm cheating a little bit coming around this way. But I do want to show you the other side of this breezeway. This is what I wanted to show you though. So you can see here there's more steps without railings, and I would really like to add a railing. It does get a little bit icy. Ooh, it's a little steep slope here. We did end up putting a gutter above here. There wasn't one when we moved in, and so a lot of the rain was washing out, and it was kind of puddling right in front of the doors down there, which lead to what is our playroom and our lower level, and that's no good. We don't want any water. Yeah, it's a mess here. There's clearly some animals living over there. You can see where the lattice is broken and just kind of looks unkempt. And you know, I like a good wild look, but this is right in the house and right where I'm walking all the time. This is where I come out to take the compost. And I would really love something lovely here. There was a large sassafras tree that my husband really nicely cut down for me last spring because the guy didn't want to put the gutters in while the sassafras tree was still there. So we did that, and I'll have to cut back those sprouts this year. And yeah, so this year is going to clear it out. There is a stone wall down there. While I'm here, let me show you this area down here. I'm going to see if I can walk carefully. another stone wall here that's kind of a little crumbly, and so I might try to fix it up a little bit. But to be honest, I like it. I'm gonna clean it up. I would love to plant, just to have it a little bit more of a controlled wildness, if that makes any sense. So I'd love to plant flowers coming up from cracks and from the base of both stone walls on either side. We do have a rain barrel we put there during the summer. I'm imagining maybe another elder tree here, a little bit of a cottage garden field where it's like not really neat and orderly, but more like abundant. I'm gonna head on inside. Hopefully, once I edit this video, it won't be too long. But I did want to give you a nice winter tour. I'm hoping winter will only be a few more weeks, and then I could show you some bulbs popping up. I will be starting some seeds. Next week, I will be starting my onions and some pansies, I think, and maybe some chickweed. So I'll be doing that. I'm so excited to get some dirt and some seeds in some dirt. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, especially if you got this far in the video. I also partially make these for myself because I love to go back and look. I'm going to go play some games with my kids and husband, and I hope you are having a wonderful time, whatever the weather is where you are. Until we talk next time, happy gardening.